Starfield is like a space hoarder's fever dream. Think intergalactic thrift shop meets black market bazaar, where you can reinvent your look, spice up firefights, and hoard enough meds to outlast a galactic apocalypse. With all these shiny trinkets just laying around, I think it's high time we embraced our inner pack rat and asked the real question. Can you beat Starfield picking up and using everything we find? Or will we just drown in loot and poor life choices? Time to find out. I've been looking forward to doing this challenge for ages. Now the question is it because I'm hyped or just really lazy? Don't worry, I'll spare you the suspense, it's both. Am I about to embark on the most carefree, restrictionless run I've ever done? I wish, but it is pretty close. We'll be picking up and immediately equipping and using every single item we find. That means armor, weapons, aid items, you name it. The only thing off limits, however, are medkits, because even in space, I know better than to tempt fate with a self-imposed medban. Now without further ado, let the chaos commence. So I breezed through the intro mission and hit the character customization screen where I went full-on abstract art mode. I think Picasso would have been mighty proud of the glorious chaos goblin I birthed into this world. And with the traits chosen and the chaos ready, it was showtime. My first firefight starts and I immediately abandon my mining laser, no lightsaber dreams today I guess, for the Eon pistol chilling on the nearby bench. Major ponage ensues, and naturally I make the rookie mistake of looting mid-fight, which turns my inventory into a jigsaw puzzle of poor decisions. Lesson learned, shoot first, loot later. But hey, I walked out with an assault rifle and a new spacesuit, so I guess you could say things were looking up. After snagging my very own spaceship, I blasted off with all the grace of a toddler on Red Bull. Oh no! Despite the space piloting disaster, I touched down on some random planet and went on a killing spree. Space pirates, local wildlife. If it moved, it didn't anymore. Swapping guns like a fashion show for murderers, I even picked up a sick helmet. Oh, wait, nope, it's already gone. After handling the boss with all the finesse of a space wombat, I landed my first purple weapon, this magnificent shotty. But of course, like everything in life, it didn't last long. RIP, purple gun, you will be missed. Next stop, New Atlantis, where I had some existential chats with the locals, because what's a space adventure without a side of who am I and why am I here? Sarah Morgan gave me the rundown, and then it was off to track down Mora Aterio and another shiny space relic. First stop was the UC Vanguard recruitment desk, because clearly there's no better place to recruit soldiers than a lobby. After some light sightseeing on Mars and low gravity frolicking on Venus's moon, I ran into some Varun zealots, dug through satellite logs, and uncovered breadcrumbs leading me to Mora. Things were smooth sailing until I got ambushed by a warehouse of spacers. I had no health left, 0 medkits, and a whole lot of oh sh*. But it was all worth it as I had finally got a solid lead on Mora's location. So I boarded his ship, took out some thugs, and confronted the man himself, and as luck would have it, he had the artifact in tow. So I grabbed it, then sped back to the lodge, ready to plop that bad boy down and call it a day. Or so I thought. Sam Coe decided that it was his turn for a field trip, and we both set off to Aquila City for a little job gone wrong drama. After some vault snooping and a heart-to-heart, I convinced Sam's dad, Jacob, to hand over some maps with a smidgen of persuasion. Fine, you're right, I just stole it. Then it was off to deal with the Shah gang, snag another artifact, and even got my hands on a pretty sweet gun. Oh, okay, yeah, well, it was fun while it lasted, I guess. Now it was time to head back to the lodge, but not before I fast traveled to, well, nowhere. Yep, instead of teleporting to New Atlantis, I found myself yeeted into lower orbit with no ship, no gear, just me, floating around like a space burrito. And they've got the nerve to call this game boring. A quick reload later, I had to haul it over to Vectera, where Supervisor Lynn gave me the lowdown, and I was off to tracking down some missing folk like the good space detective I am. Eventually, I found Heller hanging out near some wrecked ships, and then I was off to Basel 3 to find Barrett. And would you believe it, I found him straight chilling with his abductors like it was some kind of twisted space vacation. Wild times indeed. With that drama sorted, I hit the eye to check on Vladimir, who promptly sent me bouncing across the the galaxy to grab more artifacts. Andrea even popped up to join the fun. More friends, more loot, more chaos. Perfect. Even this floating cube wanted in on all the excitement. Sorry, champ. Maybe next time. And after tripping balls for what felt like the 4th time that day, I found myself back at the lodge adding yet another few artifacts to the collection, like the cosmic hoarder I am. Vlad gave me the old nod of approval before tossing me another task. This time, it was some anomaly in deep space. No quest markers, just me, my scanner, and a whole lot of spinning in circles until the screen started glitching like your grandma's TV. What a time to be alive. Somewhere along the way, I stumbled upon a spacer ship just casually left unlocked, and listen, grabbing Gary isn't the type to just walk past a free ship. So, naturally, I commandeered the space wagon like I was auditioning for Fast and the Furious Nebula Drift. Soon enough, I found the temple, and voila, space magic powers were mine. But before I could really show off my new abilities, Walter Stroud hit me up for a little side quest which involved heading to Neon and helping him buy an artifact off some sketchy thief. And naturally, I was all in. While we were on Neon, we met up with Walter's wife, Isa, who let it slip that Walter loves reciting Sebastian Banks' famous speeches. Don't know who the hell that is, but you better believe I filed that little nugget away for future teasing. But one thing led to another, and we had landed smack in the middle of Slayton Aerospace drama, where I had to decide the fate of a thief. Spoiler, I let him go. I mean, come on, everybody loves a good underdog story. After that, I couldn't resist poking at Walter again. You're totally giving me that speech later, buddy. And just when I thought things were wrapping up, bam, ambush. Some mysterious ship decided to make me their target practice, but eventually I shook him off and zipped back to the lodge. After the usual catch up with Vlad, he handed me some new leads on more artifacts scattered across the edges of space. You know the deal. Hot planets, dodge Starborn, grab shiny things. With a few more artifacts in tow, I added them to the collection, feeling all proud of myself, but plot twist, Vladimir hits me with a "we're blocked by a companion quest" scenario. Something was busted on the eye, so I had to go check in and help with repairs. But grabbing Gary isn't exactly mechanically inclined, so of course he foobarred the repairs ironically. So, while we waited for things to get back on track, Vlad gave me another "while you're here" request. This time, it was all about nabbing an artifact from Captain Petrov's salvage ship, the Scow. Vlad was all like, "You'll probably need to steal it," but I figured I'd flex my natural charm skills first. I made my way to the Scow, sweet-talked my way on board, and found Petrov. A little convincing later, the vault was open, and bam, artifact in hand. Of course, alarms started blaring, because why wouldn't they? So I made my speedy exit, grabbed some new loot while I was in there, and just like that, the artifact was secured. I thought I'd head back to the lodge and finally get to relax a little bit, but nope. The United Colonies slapped a shiny new bounty on my head, and I had no way of clearing it. My brilliant plan, of course, was to build a do-it-yourself bounty station on my ship, but I was fresh out of Zero Wire and short on silver. Cue the galactic-wide scavenger hunt. Just when I was about to give up hope, a bunch of space pirates ambushed me, but surprise, surprise, one of them dropped just enough silver to get my bounty clearing contraption up and running. Free to roam again. So, it was back to the lodge to stash that artifact. But as soon as I walked in, things went from artifact hero to Houston, we have a problem. Something was seriously wrong aboard the Eye. Before I could even catch my breath, Noel informed me that Vlad had gone radio silent, and then the Starborn showed up, led by some guy calling himself the Hunter. They had already attacked the Eye, and now they were coming for the lodge. So I had a choice: defend the lodge or rush to save the rest of Constellation on the Eye. Naturally, like all hard decisions in life, I tried to ignore it and attempted to run up the stairs to stash some gear first. But, of course, that was when the Hunter made his dramatic entrance. Could I have reloaded here? Sure, but where's the fun in that? Time to buckle down and defend the lodge. After the fight, I checked in with everyone on the Eye. Oh, and Sarah kinda got turned into a pile of ketchup. My bad. But, sadly, there was little time for mourning. Clearly, the lodge was not the safest place for these artifacts anymore, and I had to make a choice. Either stash the armillary on my ship, or go full doomsday bunker and build a fortress on some far-flung planet. I went with the ship option, though in hindsight, maybe not my best move. We may have survived the Starborn attack, but not without losing some comrades. Sarah's memorial service got pretty deep, but there was still no time to waste. So, after some talks with Mateo and Keeper Aqualius, whatever his name is, I got a lead to travel to Pilgrim's Rest. There, I tackled the big questions. What is unity? What is the meaning of life? And why the hell can't these space pirates just chill? After that, it was off to the ancient ruins of Hala 2, where I solved some light puzzles and eventually boarded Scorpius for a nice long chat with the hunter and the emissary. No fighting, just a philosophical debate. Classic. Next, I swung by the Nova Galactic Research Station on Luna. Damn, that was a mouthful. Dug through some old recordings and grabbed yet another artifact. Oh, and I may have let the emissary convince me to join their side of this whole Unity thing. Whoops. Back to the artifact hunting, because that's my life now. I hit Huygens 3, found a distress signal, and got pulled into some multiverse hopping adventure involving a guy named Raphael and a collapsing universe. Typical Tuesday afternoon, if you ask me. Finally, with all the artifacts in hand, I blasted my way through the hunter's fleet after many attempts, then landed on Masada 3, where I fought my way through countless Starborn guardians just to reach the buried temple. The final chat with the hunter went much smoother than expected, and I even convinced him to hand over the last artifact peacefully on the first try. I guess we should be calling Gabbin' Gary from now on. I'm not sorry. And one quick chat with the emissary later, it was finally over. The epic Battle of Wills ended with a civil handshake. Not exactly the dramatic showdown I imagined, but hey, Unity was calling. After some more deep space philosophy with the crew, I assembled the armillary on my ship, fired up the grav drive, and bam. After a mind-melding trip through multiple realities, I found myself face to face with, well, me. Or rather, an interdimensional Gary asking if I wanted to scatter pieces of myself across the known universe. Or just, keep on living my regular life. But come on, let's be real. Grabbing Gary isn't one to just turn down anything, let alone a chance to become cosmic stardust. Unity, here we come. And with that grand entry into godhood, grabbing Gary's mission was finally complete, and so is the main quest. So, can you beat Starfield using everything you find? Absolutely. Will your inventory management skills be tested to the brink of insanity? Also very much yes. But hey, Bethesda gave us a recent items tab, so at least they threw us a little bit of a bone. That does it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and check out the rest of my channel. We got plenty more chaos where that comes from. And as for my fellow Pickle Knights, don't forget I'll be uploading every Sunday from now on at 9 AM. So long as I don't get derailed by any major technical challenges, that is. This has been the Mythical Pickle, and on behalf of the Pickle Fellowship, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, remember to smile.